You have a great need for other people to like and admire you. You have a tendency to be critical about yourself. You have a great deal of unused capacity which you have not turned to your advantage. While you have some personality weaknesses, you are generally able to compensate for them. Your sexual adjustment has presented problems for you. Disciplined and self-controlled outside, you tend to be worrisome and insecure inside. At times you have serious doubts as to whether you have made the right decision or done the right thing. You prefer a certain amount of change and variety and become dissatisfied when hemmed in by restrictions and limitations. You pride yourself as an independent thinker and do not accept others' statements without satisfactory proof. You found it unwise to be too frank in revealing yourself to others. At times you are extroverted, affable, sociable, while at other times you are introverted, wary, reserved. Some of your aspirations tend to be pretty unrealistic. Security is one of your major goals in life. Did I just describe you? Most likely I did, and as a songwriter you need to be able to do what I just did. Well, not read from a script. You'll see what I mean.
Writing words to music is what I do, but what I love more is talking about it to you.
Hello, hello. I'm Ash, and this is Ash's Songwriting Podcast, where I talk about my favorite thing to do in life, which is songwriting. This is episode 2 for the third week of August 2013, and today we're going to break down this song. Something like that. Yeah. We're going to break down Katy Perry's Roar. Now, why did I pick this song? Now, I heard the song first last week when it first came out, lyric video and stuff like that. And immediately when I heard this song, I thought, this is a very good pop song. In this song, there lie secrets in which songwriters can use, especially when they're writing pop songs, to use within their own writing, and I would like to share what I think, what came to my mind when I was listening to the song to you, songwriters, or people who are just interested in how songs are made. Now, that's the clap, and let's break it down. So, Katy Perry's Roar. Now, we can't analyze a song without context, so let's find out what the context is. Katy Perry is the singer. She was born Catherine Elizabeth Hudson. Now, this detail is going to be very important, so you remember this. She used to be a gospel singer. Now, she's turned pop super duper star. She's about to release her 4th album, which is Prism, at the end of 2013. Her first album was released in 2001 under her real name, Katy Hudson. It was, a gospel Christian thing. And she's since not finding the success she wants or just the type of music that she wants to sing. She went into a kind of sort of searching herself, looking for collaborators, when she found a couple of cool pop dudes, apparently. And she came out in 2008, so 7 years, in 2008 with one of the boys. And I think somewhere down the line she met P.O.D., and did a song with Goodbye for Now. Remember that? Had Katy Perry in it. Now, these people, which she met during one of the boys, is back, amongst other collaborators, to write Roar. Now, who wrote Roar? Roar is credited to 5 songwriters. 1, Katy Perry, super duper star. Lucas Gottwald. Now, you might not know his name, but you might know Dr. Luke. Dr. Luke wrote, Since You've Been Gone. That's right, Dr. Luke wrote Since You've Been Gone. Second collaborator for Katy Perry is Max Martin. Max Martin wrote, Hit Me Baby One More Time. That's right. Max Martin is essentially the architect for teen pop. He's worked with Britney Spears, wrote that song, and I think he's worked with Backstreet Boys and a couple of the teen pop artists. Third collaborator is Bonnie McKee, frequent Katy Perry collaborator, started working with her during the Teenage Dream years, and she helped write California Girls, na 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 na, and Teenage Dream. Last but not least, we have Henry Walter, better known as Circus, Dr. Luke's right-hand man. He's personally worked with Britney Spears, Kesha, Taylor Swift, Lil Wayne, and B.O.B. You know, big hitters, and he has worked behind the scenes for them. Now, what is the point of like wrangling these 5 people to work on the surface, a pop song? A very simple pop song. That's not a put down, okay? Simplicity in pop is hard and not hard at the same time. Hard as in you can't be too simple or you just sound boring. But if you're too complex, you won't have the audience that you want. For it to be a pop, biggest pop song ever song. And that's why it was written. It was written to be as big as a pop song as it can be. Secondary purpose is Katy Perry is lacking a inspirational song. A really good inspirational song. Well, she has Firework, but Firework, there's a lot of you, na 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 na, firework. Katy Perry singing to you that you are a firework. But she doesn't have the whole sing-along, I'm awesome. Now, you're awesome too, firework dude or girl, but I'm awesome too. And that's what Roar is. That it fills that niche within Katy Perry's repertoire. So remember that, songwriters. If you're writing for yourself or writing for another artist, just find what niche he or she needs or you need and write that song. Pop. Now, did it succeed? As I said before, I think I saw it last week. It was on 5 million hits. And now it's up to 11 million hits. So it's growing. And those numbers are nothing to sneeze at. So 11 million on YouTube as of 3rd week of August 2013. Does it succeed? Maybe? Projection points to yes. But if the goal is to beat Firework in terms of YouTube hits or general popularity, jury's still out because Firework currently sitting on 300 million YouTube hits. Now, Firework also has the benefit of existing for 2 years, but that's the kind of benchmark they're going for. So, why do I think it, at the very least, has the staying power to rival Firework, which is currently, trivia alert, is Katy Perry's technically most successful song. 6 times platinum, I think, or 7. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. So yeah, is it gonna beat Firework? It has a chance. It has a chance. Why does it have a chance? Well, one, you cannot discount Katy Perry's public profile. If you're into pop music at all, you would know who Katy Perry is, what Katy Perry does, who's she dating, what does she look like without makeup, and something like that. So whatever Katy Perry does, there are going to be eyeballs on it. Katy Perry's public profile, 1. Number 2, great production. Katy, very good producing, very good synth choice, very good vocal, very good mixing, very good mastering. Kudos on everyone that put in their creative efforts toward that within production. Now the third one is something that you and I can exploit as songwriters, which is the Barnum effect. Now, what is the Barnum effect? Now, it's called the Barnum effect after P.T. Barnum's observation that we've got something for everyone. Obviously, P.T. Barnum is not a psychologist. Who's the psychologist? Forer. Psychologist's name is Bertram Forer, and he did this experiment where he told people what I told you in the beginning of this episode. You have a great need for other people to like and admire you. You have a tendency to be critical of yourself. Essentially, He told this to every single subject in the experiment, and they generally agreed that it described them. Essentially, he did a kind of sort of Sherlock Holmesy type observation, but essentially the same thing, and it was deemed accurate by the subjects. Now, the 4 effect itself, its definition is, bear with me, it's the observation that individuals will give a high accuracy ratings to descriptions of their personality that supposedly are tailored specifically for them, but are in fact vague and general enough to apply to a wide range of people. This effect is in astrology, fortune-telling, graphology, and some types of personality tests. So next time you look at your horoscope, 4 effect, or Barnum effect, I should be consistent. I'm going to call it Barnum effect from now on. Okay. It's my podcast. I can call it what I want. What does this have to do with Roar? Let's look at Roar's lyrics. I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sat there quietly, agreed politely. Now, that, if you've ever grown up with parents, that has happened to you. You needed, your parents are mad at you, so you needed to bite your tongue and hold your breath. Don't rock the boat or your mom and dad will get mad at you. And don't make a mess, sometimes literal mess, don't make a mess of the house. And you sat there quietly, you agreed politely, hoping for the storm will kind of subside. So the whole song is like this. Let me just sing you another one. You held me down, but I got up. Hey, already brushing off the dust. Something like that. You've been held down by a bully, your parents, your so-called friends, maybe? And you got up, you're already brushing off the dust, and you're now listening to me in a podcast listener interface situation. And the thing about the Barnum effect is that it doesn't need to be 100% correct all the time. It only needs to be somewhat correct most of the time. And you need to exploit this as songwriters writing pop songs, because you're trying to reach as wide an audience as possible. So for maximum audience, you need maximum Barnum effect. So that's one of the things that it has going on for Roar. Now, the second thing you can emulate from Roar when you're writing a pop song is to use cultural shoutouts. Like, in the second verse, it goes, now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, earn my stripes. Something like that. You know what that's referencing to, right? It references Muhammad Ali. Floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. Something like that. And what cultural references do is they ground the song within the reality of the listener. You can pick a cultural shout-out so obscure it's not going to do anything. Maybe it's just a fun in-joke for you, but you're writing a POP pop song. Don't do it. Instead, use cultural shout-outs that are relevant to the target audience you are trying to reach. And in case of Muhammad Ali, that's the world. Everyone knows who Muhammad Ali is. And we all want to be Muhammad Ali, right? Barnum effect. So, yeah, you have cultural references, and it helps that the other cultural reference in the song is, I've got the eye of the tiger, a boxer. Rocky, everyone wants to be Rocky. Like, people are still climbing up the Philadelphia steps and, just montaging it up. So, yeah, cultural references. This is very interesting because we were talking about Firework before. Firework has a cultural reference also. And it's about the 4th of July. And I think learning from Firework, she's expanding that kind of cultural reference from... It's still American. Muhammad Ali is an American, no matter how worldly he may seem. And Rocky. So she's branching out from 4th of July to Muhammad Ali. So that's just an interesting kind of sort of perceived improvement on Firework from the perspective of the songwriter. And, just to prove that you're smart, you might drop a cultural reference that is not as obvious. Like, one of the lyrics goes, I stood for nothing, I fell for everything. Did you know that that is an Alexander Hamilton quote? One of the founding fathers of America. Those who stand for nothing fall for anything. Alexander Hamilton. So there is room for being really smart in the song, but don't let it take up the whole song. And the third thing you can do is that you can put in some ooh ah 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 ooh ah 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 ah, like, you know, those ohs things. Firework has them. But it doesn't have an entire section dedicated to it like Roar does, and it really, in my opinion, it would increase the sing-song ability during a Katy Perry concert. She would invoke the let's sing together is less hard, is less easy to sing than ooh especially when you see it coming and you can just get an audience out of it. Now, the fourth thing you should do, it doesn't necessarily make the song bigger in terms of Barnum effect, but you have to make it real. As in, you have to incorporate a part of you in this extremely cynical attempt to make a POP the biggest pop song ever. Like, even Roar has a noticeably real moment, and that goes back to the first thing she sings. I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess, so I sat there quietly, agreed politely. I discussed that a couple of minutes ago in context of it being everyone's experience, but what if I told you that this also alludes to Katy Perry's Katy Hudson years, where she is, I'm not going to say forced, but she's singing gospel songs, which is kind of, let's say, more restricted in subject than pop, even though in pop we always hear about songs about sex all the time, so it might not be as free as it is perceived, but maybe she felt boxed in during those 2001, 2, 3 years, and this might be an allusion to that. It could very well be the real part of Roar, and maybe that's why Katy Perry is able to like put herself in the song and sing it with all her heart, only to be processed with autotune. No accusations here. It's just a joke. Most likely used autotune though. Next point I'm gonna make is no song's perfect. And I've been essentially extolling the virtues of the song for like 10-15 minutes already, while Roar is a gigantic pop song or whatever. There is some negative to this, and it's not what you think. I think it's the bridge. The bridge is essentially just roar, 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 something like that. I can't properly emulate that, so let me just play you a snippet of the track. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play you the bridge. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. That's the bridge. It's just, like, it's kind of a post-rocky kind of sort of contemplative moment, and then she would just say, roar, roar, roar. That's it. That's the bridge, and that's the weakness of the song. You can't make it too simple. It's just too simple. Although, I think if I was one of the 5 songwriters that collaborated on this, whatever the form of collaboration it might be, I can hear one of them saying, bridge is not important. Bridge is not important. Bridge is, you said, Katy, you wanted a song that people would sing along. You would need a downtime in the song so you can communicate with the audience before they do the again with you. This is it. This is a sacrifice we're going to make because we're going to make the biggest pop song ever. We're going to make it as big as possible in concert. We're not going to have a bridge. That might be the conversation that they had while writing Roar. I still think it's a mistake, but c'est la vie. It's still a good pop song without a bridge. Now, you know who does have a bridge, though? What song has a bridge, though? Boom, boom, boom. Na na. Okay, Firework. Also, the bridge. Well, that was Sara Bareilles' Brave. The song The Internet, and if the Internet is the top 10 Google searches for who wrote Katy Perry's Roar, which I typed in Google just because I wanted to know who wrote Roar, it just linked me to a bunch of articles where the bloggers are baiting their readers to think, is it a Sara Bareilles ripoff? Comment, please. Anyway, here's the thing. If you're going to call something a ripoff, you're accusing... Presumably, you have the word plagiarism somewhere in your brain pan. And the thing about plagiarism is, and this is Wikipedia talking, and you know how accurate Wikipedia is, plagiarism is the wrongful appropriation and purloining and publication of another author's language, thoughts, ideas, expressions, and the representation of them as one's own work. Now, the key words that I want to spotlight here is wrongful appropriation. Meaning, like, you took an idea and you wrongly put it, and when we're discussing plagiarism cases, you're discussing... Did you know that plagiarism itself is not a crime, but plagiarism might lead to copyright infringement? And if you want to put Katy Perry down as she's ripping her off or something like that, you might expect a lawsuit sometime soon, especially America being such a litigious society. But here's the thing. Under plagiarism and the history of art, and this is something Derrida, presumably a professor somewhere, said that throughout all of the history of literature and the arts in general, works of art are, large parts, repetitions of tradition. To the entire history of artistic creativity belong plagiarism, literary theft, appropriation, incorporation, retelling, rewriting, recapitulation, revision, reprise, thematic variation, ironic retake, parody, imitation, stylistic theft, stealing. That's why you have the maxive, good artists copy, great artists steal. Now, so in a sense, we're all plagiarists. As songwriters, don't be afraid to take something, but that you hear and you want to use in your songwriting. But the key here is that you have to take from multiple sources at the same time. Like, I get it that this sounds like this. But guess what? Producers use loops, and usually the loops are similar sounding, and you kind of just roll with it. You kind of play the loop and you write something on top. And that's what happened here, I think. I mean, they were doing the songwriting of this thing. I have this loop. Katy, can you sing over it? Oh my god, that's amazing. Let's base a song off that. Now, so I think that's what happened here. And so the key here is, if you care about your reputation, I guess, as a songwriter, you should steal still, but at the same time, so people can't identify which specific influence you're stealing from, mash a lot of stealing into one work. Now that's a delicate process of itself, and that's maybe another episode, not the next one, but Yeah, definitely something to discuss. I'll research that, mashing up multiple influences like that. Now we've reached to the conclusion. So what can songwriters take away from this episodes? First, if you're going to write pop, be conscious of the Barnum effect, but start real, then Barnum it up. So you have to start from a real experience, like Katy Perry's first line, about, shutting up and not doing whatever she wanted, and then you Barnum it up. Make it general, make it relatable. Second one, cultural references can help anchor the song in reality. Make sure you use the right cultural references. And don't be afraid to steal, I suppose. Don't be afraid to steal. Don't steal from one source. Nah, shit, wrong song. Wait. Ah, here it is. This has been Ash's Songwriting Podcast. Thank you for listening. If you like this podcast, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments about what I just said, if you just want to say that I suck, that's okay too, I guess. I'll appreciate praise though. So like and subscribe. This has been Ash's Songwriting Podcast. Let's hope I get to the next episode. See ya. Bye.